Alright, the tent is set up for the kids, the old tent. Excuse me, it's a little cold out here. The tent y'all saw in the camping trip me and Master Sergeant went on the other day, it needs a couple of repairs. Now, it wasn't new, it was used when Master Sergeant picked it up. And the price that he got it at, which is was free, makes it worth fixing. One of the corners was ripped off of it where the pins are that hold the pegs in, and we wound up having to poke a hole in it to secure it. And wouldn't you know it, that hole leaked. So I'm going to fix that right quick. And we had a couple of problems with the rain fly also, which we're going to do that together once I find some material. I'm going to epoxy where we had to poke the hole and put in some strapping like it's on the other side. I think this epoxy will hold it just fine. This is 3-ton epoxy, and there won't be that much pressure on it. So I'm going to coat it real good and overlap my mark that I made, and when it dries that will waterproof it. Waterproof the hole we put in there, I hope. Coat it down real good. I put just a thin layer on this part. May or may not sew it. I don't know. Probably don't need sewing, because I'm telling you, this stuff is tough. Once it sets, it's there. I'm going to lay that right over like that. Scoot it down just a little bit. And the good thing about the epoxy, it won't stick real hard to this marble. It'll come right off, I hope. I'm going to put a little stick right there. Put a little bit of clamp pressure on it. Slide it out a little more. Just like that. Now when this sets for a few minutes, I got another piece. I'll do the same thing on the other side, and then I'll show you what I'm doing next. Now this is only going to take a little while, and I've only got an hour and a half, 2 hours at the most to be at the party, which is next door. So I figured I'd do this right quick while I've got tents on my mind. Now, when these tents, I have never seen one, almost never, go back in the bag that it came in. So what I'm going to do when we get it all fixed, I'm just doing this because I got time to do it right now. When we get the rain fly fixed and all that, I'm going to invest in a tote bag, like a clothes bag. I've got 2 in the house, but they're full of clothes, and they're less than $10 if you get one. I'm going to get an oversized bag, and all the tent stuff will go back in there instead of the original bag. It'll just make things a lot easier next time we use it. So when this dries a little bit, 5 or 10 minutes, I'll come back and show you what I'm going to do with this piece. Alright, got both sides epoxied on. Epoxy is dry. Took a little longer than I thought because it's cold out here. So now I'm going to put a grommet in here, and these are brass, so they won't rust. This little kit here, maybe this will punch a hole. This is to punch the holes. I've got it marked already. And the camera's going to bounce because I'm going to hit it. And that is not going to cut it. Let's try it again. Nope, that one is not cutting. Hang on, I have another one. Well, no I don't. Hang on. I have a drill bit. Alright, this is a 1/2 inch drill bit. Let's see. That stuff's tougher than I thought it was. Let's see, I'm going to have to trim that off. It's a little too far down. That's okay. We got plenty of room so we can come up a little bit more and try it again. Made a mess, but oh well. Alright, now I've got this lighter in my pocket to keep it warm so it'll work. I'm trying to keep my propane for when it gets really cold. So I've not lit the heater. But it's cold out here. Okay. That's not going to fit, so let's see if we can. Wallow it out a little bit. Okay, got it in there. Now let's take, let me move the camera, hope y'all can see this. Take my good old trusty case pocket knife. Push it down on there. So I don't cut a finger off. Take this piece, I think we got it. I'm not real quite happy with that, so we trim some of this off. Got a layer of epoxy in between there. One reason why it won't. Let's see if it's any better. Melt some of that scrap out of the way. I know it seems to be a whole lot of trouble to go through, but there we go. Put the anvil there and there. But this is a very good tint. Just needs a little bit of care, a little bit of work. Okay. Okay, grommet is seated on there just right. Now, our messed up hole here, let's see if we can trim some of that off. Trim a little bit off here. Just like that. Now, this is a key ring, an old key ring. The good thing about this, the cost is zero. Stuff I've already had laying around here. See if this is going to work. May have to get a bigger one, I don't know. Just like that. Alright, that'll stay on there. Now we have to make a, let's see if I can show you one. Have to make a pin like that. And I have some aluminum wire I think will work just fine. Let's go ahead and trim a little bit more of this off. And this is one of them things again that somebody says you can't do that. Well, just watch me. I'll do it. May not be pretty, may not be factory, but it will work. Let's melt that strapping down so it don't ravel. Alright, we'll move the camera over here and I'll get some of that aluminum wire and show you how to make that pin. Alright, that aluminum wire I had, I don't think it's strong enough to hold this. So, I have a stainless steel welding rod. I'm going to get it hot and bend it around. I've got an old screwdriver head in there, a screwdriver handle that I've used to form the circle. Shouldn't take but a minute. Now these welding rods I have got flux on them. You just beat it with a hammer and that flux will come right off of it. And then I'll cut it to length and get it on there. Now it's not exactly like the factory ones, which is just fine because it'll work. As long as it works. Now the next step on the tent project will be building a new rain fly. Because tents now, the rain fly does not cover the bottom seam like I think it should. And me and Master Sergeant talked about that. And we're going to get some kind of material to build a whole new rain fly. Maybe even a tarp. We might be able to use a big tarp. But whatever it is, it can't be Air Force blue. You know. Going to get some camo or something. I know, I kid about the Air Force. We need them every now and then when we need to drop some bombs on somebody. They're pretty good at that. Okay, we're starting to get red hot here. Let's see if I can bend it around there. Just like that. See, now we'll get it heated up here a little bit more and square it. I know this turned into a little bit longer than what I wanted to, but oh well. I still got about an hour before the party starts, so. And I will show y'all some footage of that if you'd like to see it. And that's hot. And just turn that way just a little, like that. And when it cools, I'll cut it to length right there. Now, being this is a stainless rod, it won't rust. Good and strong. And I'll show you how I'm going to attach it here in just a minute. Alright, it's cooled down. We're going to put this on that key ring. Just like this. Now the ring stretched out just a little bit when I was putting it on. I'll tighten that back up just like that. Now we have this. This will go into the post. It's a little smaller diameter than these are, but it's longer. So I see no problem with that. There we go. Fixed. That's not absolutely beautiful, but it don't have to be. It'll work. Alright, tent fix done. Now, I'm going to go inside and get cleaned up, and we're going to go do some partying. It's not every day that your oldest granddaughter turns 11 years old. My goodness, 11. Seems like she was that big 2 weeks ago. Alright, see y'all at the party. Alright, last thing. Just got a weather update. Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, possibly sleet and snow flurries. Oh boy. Just what we need.